All right, hey guys, as always, thanks for stopping by. Gonna jump right into this one. We're talking about the stabilizing brace situation that was released by the ATF just last week. It's bad. First off, take logic and throw it out, because that's not at all what we're dealing with. I'm gonna get you up to date. I'm gonna walk you through a little bit of it, how it applies to you, and then at the end, I'm gonna have 6 thoughts for you to hopefully get you thinking and let you know where I think this whole thing is. It's a mess. Buckle up, here we go. Huge thank you to CMMG. They make this fight that I do possible for me on my end, and I'm very thankful for it. They're in the middle of this fight too. We all are, everybody is. But a big thank you to CMMG. If you want to get something really cool, head over there. I think I got another one coming. I believe I found one in Bristol the other day, Bristol, Virginia. I think I'm gonna go get it. I'll tell you all about that on another day. They're awesome. You people, thank you for every thumbs up. Y'all also help me a lot as well. All right, last week, we knew this was coming. The whole stabilizing brace thing was coming. It's called, the AFT released this, Factoring Criteria for Firearms with Attached Stabilizing Braces. All right, I'm gonna go through this quickly. There's a lot more to it. The whole thing is 293 pages. Bottom line, I'm leaving stuff out. 16-inch barrel or bigger rifle. Lower pistol. If it's lower and you put on a regular stock, it's an SBR, short-barreled rifle, and you have to give Uncle Sam money and get a tax stamp. Or you can leave it as a pistol and put on a stabilizing brace. There's a lot of them on the market. Has a piece of Velcro on it. I get it. Again, throw logic out the door. 293 pages. On page 269, they finally get into some things that apply to you and I. Fire, they started talking about more looking at what is fired from the shoulder. They also started talking about the weight, and is it weighted similar to a rifle versus a pistol? And then also they eliminated all of that point system. So if it's, this length or this weight, a point for this, 2 points for that, 3 points for this, that's all gone. The essence of this whole thing, I'm torn up if you can't tell. This is bad. This is bad. A lot of y'all have been dealing with this weekend. These are off the menu. Moving forward, no more. No more stabilizing braces. They estimate between 10 and 40 million. A lot of folks think it's way more than 40 million. So we kind of hover in there when we talk about this. Excuse me, I'm trying not to cough. It's a lot. It's you and me, and it's me times a lot. Moving forward, there's going to be a date where this thing is actually published. We think it's going to be today. I've been busy today. It's Monday. We think it's going to be published today. From that point forward, you have 120 days. In that period, you can do one of two things, or two things happen. If you have an old one like I do, you have to make this thing compliant, and you got 120 days to do that. Half that timed out, if you're buying something brand new, the compliance has to take place within 60 days. And then here's the good one. The carrot is getting dangled. What they're going to do is say, anybody that wants a free stamp, they can get it. You want to file it as an SBR and let the government know what you have? Free stamp. We have a grace period. Just fill out the paperwork. That's a problem. Now, if you have one, you have 5 options. Then I'm going to tell you my 6. Oh, I have 7. I have 7 things I want to go over. Let me tell you the 5 things that you can do. If you have one, and I've got oodles of them. One, well, let me say this. There's other things that you can do that I'm not going to talk about. This section is brought to you by Ungovernable, not to sell a t-shirt, but to prove a point, or at least make a point. 5 things you can do. Number 1, just put on a different barrel and get that thing out to 16 inches. 2, register it as an NFA item and get your free tax stamp and save the $200, but now repercussions. 3, you can remove and destroy the piece of plastic. 4, turn it in to Uncle Sam. Just go turn it in. And number 5, destroy the whole thing yourself. 7 thoughts, and we're going to get you out of here. 1, all of this is how do we get to this point? How did this come into existence? Well, the AFT said yes, and they wrote documentation that we got it all dialed in a few years ago. We all bought them, and here we are, and now they changed their freaking minds. 1, this is all because of the ATF. 2, the ATF is not elected. They are not elected officials, yet with bang, 1 turn, 40 million of us sitting here, we are now felons if we don't move over here, over a piece of plastic. They created that legislation, but they're not legislators. Now, y'all remember last year, the SCOTUS, they had that new case that started talking about these 3-letter agencies creating legislation. I think this is all going to be hogwash. I think it's going to get thrown out in court the same as the bump stocks did. 3, right now there's an 8-month waiting period on average for Form 4s. All of a sudden, 40 million of us are supposed to fill out Form 4s. That is an impossibility. John Patton over the Gun Collective said, it'll take a decade to get this paperwork done. It won't, but it's going to be a long time. 4, 40 million felons overnight. Bang. 5, it's unenforceable. There's not enough agents to even, it's not enforceable. Some people will be made an example of. Some people will be made an example of. 6, talk to your reps. Critical. And number 7, this is, I think maybe I buried the lead. This is really, really important. Keep in mind that when you have a tool like this that is sending hate down range, bop, 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 the plastic on the end doesn't change the rate of fire, doesn't change the accuracy, doesn't change anything about the entire system. It is one piece of Velcro on the back, and that is it. Never forget that's what we're talking about, is a piece of Velcro. That's it. Just like the bump stocks, this is big, this is big, this is much bigger than that. Mr. Gunzinger said this week that he thinks since the Patriot Act, this is the most dangerous piece of legislation presented in 20 years. 20 years, this is the most dangerous piece of legislation. What are you going to do? We'll see. It's going to be a mess, but we're going to be watching that. Let me know down below where you're at and what you think. Thanks for being here. It's a mess. It's a mess. See y'all.